Every year, millions of people flock to the Appalachian Mountains to hike and camp. But few realize this place is home to a whole host of dangerous animals. What's even scarier is that a lot of them don't just charge out and attack. They quietly camouflage in the dead leaves, hide in the tall grass, or hitch a ride right on your body without you ever noticing. More than a few folks only realize they're in danger after they've already been bitten. How exactly does a 4-foot snake or a tiny tick manage to just vanish right in front of your eyes, and what other creatures are silently living out here in these woods today? We're going to uncover the 20 most dangerous animals in the Appalachian Mountains. 1. American black bear. When you mention the Appalachians, most people immediately think of the American black bear. It's the largest carnivore still roaming the area, with full-grown males tipping the scales at over 550 pounds. Don't let their sluggish look fool you. They can sprint at nearly 30 miles per hour, climb trees, swim incredibly well, and sniff out food from miles away. Just a bag of snacks, the smell of barbecue, or even toothpaste left in your tent is enough to draw a bear right to you. Luckily, black bears usually steer clear of humans, but plenty of attacks kick off from super minor mistakes. According to the National Park Service, the vast majority of dangerous encounters happen when campers leave food out, try to get too close for a photo, or accidentally get the bears used to scoring easy meals from humans. Once that happens, they lose their natural fear and start showing up way more aggressively. That's exactly why park rangers constantly remind folks to keep their distance if they spot a bear. And absolutely do not run, just stay calm, back away slowly. And give the bear an out. In most cases, it'll choose to avoid you, but not every danger in Appalachia is easy to see. One predator is officially gone on paper, yet reports of sightings have never truly disappeared. 2. Eastern cougar. If you ask any biologist, the answer is crystal clear. The eastern cougar is extinct. In 2018, the U.S. government officially declared the subspecies wiped out in the wild. And yet, the story is far from over. Almost every year, someone reports seeing a massive cat with a long tail bounding across the road or vanishing into the Appalachian brush. The vast majority of those cases turn out to be bobcats, domestic dogs, or western mountain lions that just wandered too far east. However, there are still a handful of reports that simply can't be explained because the photos are too blurry or the animal disappeared before anyone could verify it. If a tiny remnant population actually does exist, this would be the undisputed apex predator of Appalachia. A full-grown cougar can weigh nearly 200 pounds, leap dozens of feet, and take down prey with a single bite to the back of the neck. Unlike bears, they hunt almost completely silently, stalking their prey from behind, making them incredibly hard to spot. To this day, there's zero hard proof that the eastern cougar is still roaming Appalachia, but the hundreds of sightings over the years have turned it into one of the most famous legends of this ancient forest. Whether the cougar is still out there or not, Appalachia has another animal that you are absolutely guaranteed to run into if you hike long enough. And unlike the stealthy predators, these guys show up right out in the open and are getting way too comfortable around people. 3. Feral hogs. It's not just one hog. An entire sounder of feral hogs is an absolute nightmare in the Appalachian woods. When a group of them shows up, it's incredibly tough to tell how many more are lurking in the brush. Feral hogs are an invasive species originally brought over from Europe to North America, and they've now completely overrun huge chunks of Appalachia. A full-grown adult can weigh over 220 pounds, hit speeds of 25 miles per hour, and pack razor-sharp tusks that can easily tear flesh right open. Normally, they try to avoid people, but if they're cornered, injured, or rolling with their piglets, they will absolutely charge straight at you. Unlike a lot of animals that just bluff charge and run away, A wild boar will throw its entire body weight into a ram, then hook its tusks upward, causing insanely deep wounds. A whole pack is even deadlier because you might just see one guy in front of you, while the rest of them are already flanking you from the sides. Because they're a massive threat to humans, absolutely destroy the vegetation, and hog all the food from native wildlife. Plenty of states around Appalachia still have to run active eradication programs to this day. Not every massive animal in Appalachia is a predator. Some are strict herbivores. But when breeding season hits, they can get so ridiculously aggressive that even park rangers stay far away. 4. Elk. Elk were completely wiped out across most of Appalachia back in the 19th century and were only reintroduced in the late 90s. Today, they've mounted a huge comeback in states like Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. But don't let their gentle look fool you. A full-grown bull elk can easily weigh over 700 pounds, some even topping 1,000, carrying a massive rack of antlers built specifically for fighting during the rut. From roughly September to early October, they become insanely aggressive and will charge at literally anything they view as a threat. A lot of tourists get themselves into trouble because they see an elk standing still and assume it's just used to people. A few seconds later, the animal drops its head and charges completely out of nowhere. With hundreds of pounds backing it up, one ram is enough to send a grown adult flying, and a kick from those hooves can cause brutal injuries. Because of that, national parks constantly beg tourists to keep their distance and to absolutely never stand between a bull and his harem of cows. A ticked-off elk is infinitely more dangerous than its calm exterior lets on. If elk only get aggressive for a few weeks a year, our next animal is a threat year-round. Take just one wrong step on the dry leaves, and you could be standing less than 2 feet away from it without having a clue. 5. Coyote. Over the last few decades, coyotes have quietly expanded their turf all across the eastern U.S., straight through the Appalachians. They aren't as massive as gray wolves, and they don't pack the raw power of a mountain lion, but they are incredibly smart and adapt insanely fast to human environments. A full-grown coyote usually only weighs around 20 to 45 pounds, looking roughly the size of a medium domestic dog. That exact size is why so many people underestimate them. In reality, they are highly efficient hunters, totally capable of teaming up in pairs or small packs to run down prey, switching up their tactics on the fly depending on the situation. They'll eat practically anything they can get their paws on, from mice, rabbits, birds, and snakes, all the way to fruit and roadkill. When they live near neighborhoods, they quickly figure out how to raid trash cans, steal pet food, or straight up hunt cats and small dogs. Once they get hooked on human-provided food, they just keep showing up more and more. Coyote attacks on humans aren't super common, but they do happen. The vast majority involve animals that have completely lost their fear of us because they've been fed or just gotten too used to being around people. They'll casually stroll up, gauge your reaction, and slowly close the gap. Kids and small pets are by far at the highest risk. If you cross paths with a coyote on a trail, never turn your back and run. Stand tall. Make yourself look as big as possible by throwing your hands up or flaring your jacket out. Shout at it, and slowly back away. Your only goal is to make it crystal clear that you are not an easy meal. Unlike a lot of big game that stick to the deep woods, coyotes are popping up closer and closer to towns, campgrounds, and the suburbs. This mind-blowing adaptability is exactly what makes them one of the most successful predators in North America. And it's making human encounters in the Appalachians way more common. Big mammals are usually pretty easy to spot from a distance, but from here on out, the real danger is right down on the dirt. Just one wrong step, and you could be standing less than 2 feet away from a venomous snake without having a clue. It's even there. 6. Timber rattlesnake. The timber rattlesnake is one of the largest venomous snakes in the eastern U.S., and they are all over the Appalachian woods. A full-grown adult usually runs about 3 to 5 feet long, but some old-timers can stretch past the 6-foot mark with a heavy-bodied build and that signature rattle on their tail. A lot of folks assume they'll always buzz to give you a heads up. The truth is, that's not always the case. They really only use that rattle when they feel seriously threatened. If the snake believes its camouflage is doing the job, it'll just lie perfectly still and wait for you to walk by. That's exactly why so many hikers only spot them when they're already way too close. A bite from a timber rattler doesn't just cause agonizing pain. The venom destroys tissue, damages blood vessels, and causes internal bleeding. If you don't get treatment fast, it can lead to some massive medical complications. Even though fatalities are super rare these days thanks to modern anti-venom and emergency medicine, this is still one of the main snakes that park rangers constantly warn you about. The good news is, timber rattlers have zero interest in attacking humans. They usually only strike if they get stepped on, backed into a corner, or if someone intentionally gets way too close because of that. Most accidents are totally preventable if you just watch your step. Keep your hands out of rocky crevices or rotting logs, and give them plenty of space if you spot one. Leaving the forest trail doesn't mean you're out of danger. Around the water's edge, another venomous snake has perfectly adapted to its own hunting ground. 7. Cottonmouth water moccasin. The water moccasin, also known as the cottonmouth, is one of the most notorious venomous snakes in the American South. You'll find them creeping around the southern stretches of the Appalachian system, especially near swamps, lakes, streams, and slow-moving backwaters. The name cottonmouth comes directly from their defense mechanism. When they feel threatened, they throw their jaws wide open, flashing the stark white, cotton-like lining of their mouth to warn you off. It's an unmistakable sign, and it's nature's way of telling you that you're way too close. A lot of people mix up cottonmouths with harmless water snakes just because they both love hanging out near the water. That mistake leads some folks to try and grab them or shoo them away, which usually ends in a bite. While a cottonmouth isn't out hunting humans, it will strike lightning fast if it feels backed into a corner. Their venom packs a serious punch, causing heavy swelling, intense pain, and massive tissue damage around the bite zone. If left untreated, the complications can turn incredibly ugly. That's why, if you spot any snake near the water's edge and you can't ID it with 100% certainty, the absolute smartest play is to just keep walking. The upside is that cottonmouths only hang out in the southern pocket of the Appalachians. They aren't scattered across the whole mountain range, but if you're camping or kayaking in states like Georgia, Alabama, or Tennessee, this is definitely a snake you need to keep on your radar. Just one careless moment, stepping up to the riverbank or grabbing a wet log could end your trip way sooner than you planned. Stepping off the forest trails. A lot of people think they're safer once they hit the water, but out here in the Appalachians, the water brings its own set of threats. And from here, our list shifts to much smaller creatures, but the damage they leave behind can haunt you for months or even years. 8. Brown recluse spider. The brown recluse has long held the title as one of the most terrifying spiders in America. But there's a huge misconception floating around. A lot of people think they're crawling all over the Appalachians. In reality, their natural range really only clips the western edges of the range, hitting spots like western Kentucky or northwest Georgia. Even if they aren't everywhere, they definitely earn a spot on this list simply because of what their venom can do. A brown recluse isn't out to get you. During the day, they love to hole up in dark corners, under wood piles, in sheds, abandoned cabins, or deep inside a pair of boots you haven't worn in a while because they're so big on hiding. Plenty of people accidentally brush up against them while cleaning or throwing on clothes that were left on the floor. What makes this spider so infamous is that the initial bite usually doesn't even hurt. A lot of victims just feel a tiny pinch, and some don't even realize they've been bitten at all. It isn't until a few hours later that the skin starts turning red, swelling up, and really bringing the pain. In some of the nastier cases, the tissue around the bite literally starts to die off, forming a necrotic ulcer that can take weeks or even months to fully heal. Luckily, severe necrosis doesn't happen to everyone. The vast majority of bites only cause mild to moderate symptoms. That said, if the pain keeps ramping up, you catch a fever, or the skin starts turning weird colors, you need to get to a doctor ASAP. If you're crashing in an old cabin or hanging out in places that don't see much foot traffic, always shake out your boots, sleeping bags, and clothes before using them. It takes 5 seconds, but it could save you from an absolute nightmare. Not every creature that looks terrifying in Appalachia is actually dangerous. The next one looks like something straight out of prehistory. But the truth is very different. 9. Hellbender salamander. The hellbender is the largest salamander in North America, and hands down one of the weirdest things living in the Appalachians. A full-grown adult can stretch over 2 feet long, rocking a flattened body, insanely wrinkly skin, and a wide, shovel-like head that makes most people think they just stumbled onto a river monster. In reality, hellbenders pose zero threat to humans. They spend practically their entire lives at the bottom of cold, crystal clear, oxygen-rich streams. By day, they wedge themselves under massive boulders, only coming out at night to hunt for crayfish, bugs, and minnows. If you manage to catch one or back it into a corner, a hellbender might bite just to defend itself. They've got strong jaws, and a bite will definitely hurt. But they aren't venomous, and it rarely causes any real damage. Honestly, humans are a way bigger threat to them. Out of pure curiosity, people flip their rocks, drag them out of the water for pictures, or try to take them home as pets, which has tanked their numbers in a lot of areas. Biologists actually look at the hellbender as an indicator species. They can only survive in pristine, unpolluted water. So when they start disappearing, it's a huge red flag that the water quality is going downhill fast. If you're lucky enough to spot one in the wild, your best move is to just admire it from a distance. They aren't deadly like a bear or a rattlesnake, but they are one of the rarest, most unique residents of the Appalachians. That bizarre, almost alien look is exactly what sparked so many local myths hundreds of years ago, back when people had absolutely no idea what they were looking at in the water. Not everything out here is going to terrify you the second you look at it. Some creatures are tiny, completely silent, and just chill in the dark corners. But one single bite is enough to make sure you never forget them. 10. Black widow spider. The black widow is arguably the most famous spider in North America. They aren't huge. A full-grown female is only about ½ an inch long, but that jet-black glossy body and the iconic red hourglass on the belly have made them the absolute poster child for deadly venomous spiders. You aren't likely to just bump into a black widow out in the deep woods. They love dark, dry, undisturbed spots like sheds, cabins, woodpiles, old fences, or the gaps right under your porch. That's exactly why so many people get bitten when they reach blindly for firewood. Shift old junk around, or clean out places that haven't seen the light of day in a while. A black widow is almost never going to actively come after you if you bother them. Their first instinct is to run or play dead. They'll only bust out the fangs if they're completely pinned down or accidentally squished. Black widow venom is a neurotoxin. If you get tagged, you'll usually feel a sharp pinprick right away, followed by an intense pain that spreads into your muscles, stomach, or back in some cases. People get hit with brutal muscle cramps, nausea, and heavy sweating. For a healthy adult, you'll bounce back fine with proper medical treatment. But little kids, the elderly, or anyone with underlying health issues are at a way higher risk for serious complications. The good news is, thanks to modern medicine, Black widow fatalities are incredibly rare today, but that doesn't mean you should brush them off. Just throwing on some work gloves before grabbing firewood, shaking out your boots, and keeping your hands out of blind crevices is enough to slash your odds of tangling with America's most notorious spider. If the black widow is known for its venom, the next creature is infamous for the intense pain of its bite. It hides beneath rotting logs, damp leaf litter, and waits for someone to disturb it by accident. 11. Eastern bark centipede. The eastern bark centipede is one of the largest centipedes in the eastern United States, typically growing 4 to 6 inches long. Its flattened body and dozens of fast-moving legs are enough to startle almost anyone. During the day, it hides beneath rotting logs, damp leaf litter, and rocks. After dark, it emerges to hunt insects, spiders, and other small prey. If it's touched or accidentally trapped against your hand, it strikes with its modified front legs, injecting venom in a split second. The bite causes immediate, intense pain, followed by swelling and a burning sensation. Most people recover within a few days, but those with insect venom allergies may experience more serious reactions. Most bites happen when hikers pick up logs or flip over rocks with bare hands. Wearing sturdy gloves and checking before reaching into dark hiding spots can greatly reduce the risk. The eastern bark centipede is rarely life-threatening, but it serves as a reminder that in Appalachia, even something hiding beneath an ordinary log can inflict a painful bite if disturbed. Most of the animals we've covered so far only strike when they're disturbed, but the next 3 are true predators. One is almost never seen, another is moving closer to neighborhoods every year, and the last won't hesitate to charge if you wander into its territory. 12. Bobcat. The bobcat is one of the most elusive predators in the Appalachian Mountains. Thousands of people hike these forests every year, yet very few ever see one because bobcats are masters of camouflage. An adult weighs only 15 to 35 pounds, but don't let its size fool you. Armed with razor-sharp claws, powerful jaws, and explosive speed, a bobcat can bring down its prey in just a few seconds. The good news is that bobcat attacks on people are extremely rare. But if one is cornered, trapped, or infected with rabies, it can become highly aggressive. A frightened bobcat may slash repeatedly with all 4 paws while delivering powerful bites, causing deep wounds that often require medical treatment. Small pets such as cats, small dogs, and backyard chickens can also become targets, especially around dawn and dusk when bobcats are most active. If you ever encounter a bobcat, keep your distance and let it leave on its own. In reality, it's far more likely that the bobcat has already seen you than the other way around. 13. Bald-faced hornet. If there's one animal in the Appalachians that even people who aren't afraid of large predators should watch out for, it's the bald-faced hornet. They measure only about an inch long, but they're notorious for defending their nests with incredible aggression. Their large, gray paper nests are often built in tree branches, dense shrubs, under roof eaves, or along hiking trails. Many hikers don't realize a nest is nearby until they're only a few yards away. Brush against the wrong branch or accidentally shake the nest, and the entire colony can swarm within seconds. Unlike honeybees, bald-faced hornets can sting repeatedly without dying. Even worse, the first hornet to attack releases an alarm pheromone that signals the rest of the colony to join in. That's why victims are often stung over and over again in just a matter of seconds. For most healthy adults, the stings cause intense pain, swelling, and a burning sensation. But for anyone with a severe insect sting allergy, even a handful of stings can trigger anaphylaxis, a life-threatening allergic reaction that requires immediate medical treatment. Every year in the United States, hornets and wasps are responsible for numerous hospitalizations and even fatalities. If you suddenly find yourself surrounded by hornets, don't stand there swatting at them. Cover your face if you can, then leave the area as quickly as possible using the shortest escape route. Once you're several dozen yards away, they'll usually stop chasing you. 14. Southern scorpion. Most people think scorpions only live in the deserts of the American Southwest, but few realize the Appalachian Mountains are home to their own native species, the southern scorpion. At just 1.5 to 3 inches long, these scorpions spend most of the day hidden beneath rocks, rotting logs, leaf litter, or inside damp rock crevices. They're rarely seen in daylight, but after dark they emerge to hunt insects, spiders, and other small prey. Fortunately, their venom isn't considered life-threatening to a healthy adult. That doesn't mean getting stung is harmless. Accidentally place your hand or foot on one, and you'll likely experience an intensely painful sting. Many people compare it to a wasp sting, followed by burning pain, swelling, and numbness that can last for hours. For anyone with an allergy to insect venom, the reaction can be much more serious and may require immediate medical attention. Most stings happen when hikers lift rocks, collect firewood, or reach into dark crevices without looking first. That's why park rangers recommend wearing gloves when gathering wood and never putting your hands where you can't clearly see. Southern scorpions rarely attack people on purpose. They use their stinger only when they feel trapped and have no way to escape. But like so many other animals in Appalachia, a single careless moment is all it takes to turn an enjoyable hike into an unexpected trip to the emergency room. There's one major thing almost all these animals have in common: they don't look at humans as the enemy. They're just out here living purely on instinct. The vast majority of accidents happen when people forget that we are the guests stepping into their world. Maybe the biggest lesson to take away from the Appalachians isn't to be terrified of nature, but to learn how to truly respect it. Because the more you understand about the wild, the more you realize that keeping a safe distance is sometimes the highest form of respect you can show.